In this video, we talk about mortgage rates in 2019. What are they? How are they determined? And how do you shop around for them? That's starting right now.
Welcome to Homebuyers School, brought to you by Brookfield Residential.
Hi everyone, I'm Carl and welcome to another Homebuyer School video, a channel where you get the latest strategies, tactics, and tips from home buying experts. And remember, if this is your first time on this channel and you want to get the latest strategies from the experts, hit the subscription button below, hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. So today I'm joined by Mushtaba Sayed, mortgage specialist with the Bank of Montreal, and the question we're going to answer today is mortgage rates in 2019. So I guess Mo, first of all, what do mortgage rates mean? What are mortgage rates?
So the mortgage rate means is like technically it's an annual percentage, what we call an APR, which is when you borrow money to buy a home. For example, you're borrowing it from the bank and then you're returning it, and there's a cost for that service. So that's why I technically look at as an interest rate, is that this is the cost for the service provided, right? Which is the interest rate that they've lent you their money or money in general. And then you just pay that back, and is based on an annual rate and is paid, it could be paid monthly, semi-monthly, bi-weekly, weekly, depending on how you want to set it up.
So where do I go find the most current mortgage rate?
You can go on to your bank's website, you can go onto your lender's website, you could do a quick Google search. Finding rates are not difficult. The only thing I would really stress is go to a reputable source to find interest rates. Find it from a reputable lender. Sometimes you see a really low rate and then you get enticed by it and you realize that it's an insurance company or it's something that's a financial company that is not considered to be a bank. You want to be able to see where those rates are coming from, what kind of terms and conditions are attached to that rate. You might get a lower rate today, but after the 5-year term, when your term comes up, you might not be able to renew at the same rate, or they might give you a higher rate. You might not be able to transfer. There could be a lot of stipulations. Sometimes when you do decide which lender to go with, it depends on more than just rate alone. It determines about the terms and conditions in the mortgage and the benefits added. So yes, definitely do your research, but do research properly on what rates to get and where they're available.
So Mo, how are mortgage rates actually determined?
So there's two separate types of rates. So we have, let's say, the variable rate. The variable rate's kind of based on the overnight rate, which is the Bank of Canada. So that's currently based on prime rate. So that could fluctuate based on what Bank of Canada wants to set their benchmark rate at or their overnight rate at. So, and then the banks will have their prime rate on top of the Bank of Canada's overnight rates. Fixed rates, on the other hand, are actually based on the bond market. So for example, like a 5-year fix is based on a 5-year bond. Whatever the 5-year bond yield is, there's going to be something similar to that, to the 5-year fixed rate. So that's a really, really good question, because a lot of people don't seem to understand that. There are two different types of rates, how they're calculated. It's not necessarily that since one's low, one should be high. It doesn't really technically work that way. Sometimes you might have seen it be like that, but that's not necessarily the case. As of right now, we are going into a very low rate environment, so keep your eyes out. Interest rates should be dropping in the next few months. As we do know, the 5-year bond yield rates are actually very low. Last time I checked, they were trading at 1.45%, meaning that that's technically the same amount of rate yields that were trading around 2017 when we had low rates. I'm not saying rates are going to come down to those levels again, but we are in the market for lower rates. So right now is a good time to get out, get a pre-approval done, come to a Brookfield show home, speak to an area sales manager, because rates are actually going to be in the decline.
And so last question here is, how do you actually shop for mortgage rates?
The best thing to do for shopping for mortgage rates, first and foremost, is one, find out what is most important to you, right? So terms and conditions to me are the most important thing in a mortgage. So talking about skipping a payment, God forbid if you are sick, you fall ill, you've missed work for a while, skipping payments is a really big one. So find out if your mortgage lender can offer you those things first and foremost before you start looking to the rate option. Some banks will have a relief program, they might have take a payment vacation program. Those are the ones that you really need, or like a job loss program, job loss insurance. Those are the things that really matter the most. And then after that, then we can start looking at rates. Because let's say, for example, you go for a lender that has a very low rate, but they don't have any of these other benefits. And God forbid, you fall in some hard times and they foreclose on your home, that extra 0.1 lower than a bank that would have given you this now doesn't mean a lot because it hasn't really helped you when you need it the most. So look at terms, conditions, and what the product really offers, right? The benefits of the product, which is the mortgage. Those are, to me, are the most important to look at. And then yes, 100%, you should look at interest rates as well. And then most specialists can actually look at rates and tell you where these rates are coming from and the reason why rates are what they are.
So you mentioned that mortgage rates were headed down. The question I was going to ask is, where do you think mortgage rates are headed? And why do you think that?
Yeah, so 2019 is the bond yield rates. They're trading at a lot lower than they were in 2018. So we're going to, and since 5-year bond yields are, and the 5-year bond, it kind of determines what the 5-year fixed rate's going to be. So just because of that, it's going to translate into lower 5-year fixed rates in 2019. That's just how they work. So in the next couple of months, we are already seeing some decline coming, and then we'll start seeing some more decline coming in the next couple of months.
So the question of the day I have for you is, are the mortgage rates in 2019 going to affect your decision to buy a home? Yes or no? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you enjoyed and found this video helpful, make sure to share and like and subscribe. Thank you, and we'll catch you next time.
That's another edition of Homebuyer School. Tune in next time for more expert tips and tricks. And visit homebuyerschool.ca to bring you one step closer to finding your dream home. As with everything, it would be great if you like and share our videos. Also, please let us know if you have any home buying questions you want us to answer.